you have a way to put padding under your wrist. You can fold the mat over, and you can put padding under your knees by folding part of the mat over, or a blanket. So be sure that you have that, whatever you usually use, available. And let's start in child's pose, please. So extended child's pose, reach your arms forward. Separate your knees so your belly can expand with your inhale. Sit back towards your heels. Rest your forehead on the mat, or you can stack your arms and rest your forehead on your stacked arms. Just breathe. Feel the breath coming into the back of the body. Feel the lungs expanding. Feel the belly pushing down toward the mat with the inhale. Feel yourself relaxing down into child's pose with the exhale. Feel the body. Excuse me. Feel the body stretching with the inhale, relaxing with the exhale. Notice it. Try to not let your mind get distracted with what's coming up, not just in class, but in the day. Keep your attention on your breath and your body, how you feel as you go through the practice. So you know when you can go a little bit further, push a little bit harder, or when you need to back off. With your next inhale, inhale your way slowly up to hands and knees. Adjust your wrist back underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees maybe a little closer to each other, but not touching, and arch around some cat-cow. Inhale. Your belly drops and your chest expands. Exhale when you close the front of the body. Round up. Come back to a neutral spine. Reach your right leg back, left arm straight forward, hold it. Try not to sink into your right shoulder. Try to have the arm and the leg parallel to the mat and lift the heel up real high. Lift your whole back from your fingertips to your heel. Your back is in a nice straight line as best you can visualize and feel. Lower down, change sides, hold it. Lower down. Reach your hands a little bit forward. Keep them there. You curl your toes under. Push back to a bent knee, downward dog. Just hold that for a moment with your knees slightly bent. That stretches and rounds your back. When you straighten your leg, it changes the relationship in the pelvis, which causes your low back to tilt in a little bit, which is okay. But right now, we just want to stretch. And if you tend to have back pain, sometimes this version is more comfortable and safer. Now lift both heels up, come up onto the balls of your feet or your toes. Then press your right heel to the mat. Keep your left knee bent a little bit. We're locked. Again, lift both heels. Press the right heel to the mat. Left heel to the mat, sorry. Bend the right knee. Both up. Right heel to mat. Slowly, my speed, both up. Left heel to mat. One more time, both up. Right heel to mat. Both up. Left heel to mat. Now both heels to the mat. Press back, extend. Knees again can be slightly bent, but that feels better on your back, especially until you're warmed up. Hamstrings pull on the back, especially when they're tight. Now if you need to, come to your knees and step your right foot forward, otherwise right leg up and right foot forward into a lunge. Lift the back knee up if it's not, or you can lower it down if this is too strong for you this morning. Keep your shin straight up and down, knee joint over heel lined up onto your fingertips, or you can have your hands on a couple blocks. Lift your chest, flatten your back. Now straighten out your right leg, head to knee, if you need to, and push your left heel a little bit toward the mat without turning your foot. Your toes are still pointing this way. If you need to, you can lower that back knee down. Keep your front toes connected to the mat, so you're getting a stretch in your ankle as well. Back to the lunge. Now if you need to, lower your back knee, go back to hands and knees, and go back to downward dog. Otherwise, right leg back up into the air, and downward dog. And let's go down to our hands and knees, and rest in extended child's pose for just a moment. Hold it. Breathe, stretch. This may feel a little less tight. If you notice tightness when the first time you did it. You come back up to hands and knees, reaching your hands a little forward. Push back to downward dog, whatever version you like. Hold it. Remember patting under your wrist if you need it. Lower to your knees and step your left foot forward or left leg up. Lunge it. Lift your back knee up if it's down, or you can lower it down if this is too strong. Lift your chest. If you lower the back knee down, try to keep it back, so this right thigh is at an angle, rather than bringing it up underneath your hip. You get a deeper stretch. Watch that left knee. Now straighten out the left leg, stretch down over, keep your left toes down, press your right heel toward the mat. You can lower that back knee if you need to. Come to lunge. You may have to bring that right foot in a little bit, but come to a forward bend. Either separated a couple inches apart, just hang down. You don't have to touch the mat. You hold your shins, behind your calves if you want. Now do hold your shins. This time, first time right below the knees. And lift your chest. Flatten your back. Lift your tailbone. Create that little arch in your low back. Look a little bit forward, but don't compress the back of your neck. Hold it. This is a version of monkey, which we do in Sun Salutations. Monkey. You can always do this version when we do monkey, instead of here with your knees bent, just so long as you lower your fingers down before you step back. Hang down with your exhale. Slide your hands down or just hang there. Wherever your hands go, your knees are soft. They're not locked straight. They're soft, straight. Take your arms out to the side. Flatten your back first. Don't let your arms pull you up. Don't let them go up above your shoulders as you come up. Use your abs. Turn your palms up, palms together. Interlace your fingers. Curve to the right. You can shift your hips left as you curve, putting a little more weight on the left foot, or you can keep the hips right above the feet and curve. Whichever version feels like what you want to do today. Crescent moon. Inhale back up. Moving slowly. Exhale your way to the left. Same options. Inhale back up. Separate your hands. Bend your knees. Bend at the hips. And let your knees go past your toes in this case. Chair pose. Arms can be here. Arms can be what they call cactus arms. Hands on your hips. Arms straight out. Arms straight forward, parallel to the mat. You have a variety of options here in chair pose. Now for 10 seconds, let's come down to Thunderbolt. All the way down, your knees still don't go past the tips of your toes. Let your belly rest on your thighs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Release your hands out to the side and down. Bring your feet together, or at least your knees and thighs together. Your feet may still be an inch or two apart. And we're going to do chair with twist. And we want to do with twist, we want the one knee not to come forward of the other. So when we twist to the left, the right knee wants to come forward to rotate your hip. Try to not do that unless it really bothers your back, then that's okay, let it happen. But let's come to chair pose. Palms pressed together at heart center, elbows out from each other. They stay out from each other. As you go down further and you twist and try to hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee or thigh. Push into it. Try to get your hands center. Watch that right knee. Mine was going forward. This is really hard for me. Keep that knee back. If you feel you're losing your balance, separate your feet a little bit. Don't fall. Adjust. Come back. Woo! To chair pose. That'll warm me up. Twist to the other side. You gotta kind of get that elbow over there And then rotate the rest of you. Push into your hands. Hold it. Line up your knees if you want and if you can. And come all the way up. And release. Now we're going to do some of the gentle sun salutations when you go back to child's pose instead of downward dog. Remember to have something for your knees if you need it. And that's something you can always do. Go to your knees instead of doing plank pose or chaturanga. And then you can keep your knees down and do a gentle up dog if you need to be cautious of your back. And then go through bent knees back to downward dog when we do the full version. And we're not doing downward dog this time. Inhale, arms up, out to the side and up. Exhale, swan dive to a forward bend. Fingertips on the mat. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift your chest. Hold your shins if you need to. And exhale, step your right foot back into a lunge and lower your right knee down. Watch that left knee. Right foot flat. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. Slowly with your exhaling, 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 exhaling. Inhale your way back up. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Straight up and down. Inhale, lift your back knee. Exhale, step to a forward bend. You're going to come all the way up. Inhale, arms out to the side and up. This time, we're going to go down with prayer pose. Exhale, palms together and forward bend. Touch the mat, bending your knees if you need to. Inhale, lift your chest, holding your shins if you need to. Exhale, left foot back, knee down. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale your way back up to hands and knees. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, step to forward bend. Reverse swan dive. Inhale up. Now we're going to do it together. I'm going to do it with my breath, which will be pretty slow. You do it with yours, which may be slower or faster. You kind of know there's not a lot of steps in this, and if you miss something, that's okay. Try to move with your breath. Inhale up. This time swan dive. Exhale. And keep going. Let's just stay up here and wait for everybody to be here. And to namaste. Remember, every time you move, whether it's lunging or monkey before the lunge or just stepping your foot forward, every movement is the other half of the breath. So just think about that. Just know that when you go to child's pose, it's with an exhale. When you step to forward bend, it's with an exhale. So figure out your breath in between. Inhale, arms up. You can always take an extra half breath if you need to, or just hold something for a breath. Exhale down. Monkey. Finish it off. Remember to do a complete breath. So if you get to a pose a little bit before you're done with the breath, you hold, you stay there, and you finish the breath. So that the next breath is a complete breath as well. Okay, Sun Salutations. You all know what to do. If Chaturanga, if your arms aren't strong, you don't lower down your whole body to the mat, because your belly's going to go down first, and that's going to strain your low back. Your arms have to be strong enough that your chest goes down first. So if your arms aren't strong, just bend your elbows a little bit. Have your knees down. Just bend your elbows a little bit, keeping them in close to your body to start to strengthen your triceps. And then you can just come straight to up dog with your knees down. Please don't strain your back just to do something that your body may not be ready for yet. Inhale, arms up. Let's do it with palms together. Exhale, forward bend, flat back. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, right foot back. Keep the knee up. Inhale, hands and knees. Hands and feet. You can lower your knees if you want to. Exhale, bend your elbows a little bit or come almost down to the mat. Inhale, lift to up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. You can go through your bent knees and then go back to down dog. Inhale, step or jump to monkey, so you're lifted a little bit. Even if it's here, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive. This time where you can do it palms together, whatever you like. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, left foot back. Lower your knee if you want. Inhale, plank. You can just stay here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, walk or jump forward, lifted to monkey. Exhale, forward bend. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, up. And exhale, namaste. Now when we do that with a lunge, we're going to try. We haven't been doing that for a while. And we used to always do that. So from down dog, we're going to lunge forward. If getting your foot all the way up in the lunge is challenging, and to me, as far as I've seen and practiced, lunging all the way up from down dog is one of the hardest steps, the hardest between moving, flowing. That's one of the most difficult ones. So if you can't get your foot all the way up, that your shin is straight up and down and your knee is over your heel, then lower, and you should know whether you can do this or not. Lower to your knees from down dog, step your foot forward, and lift your back knee up. You have to move kind of fast when you're doing it that way because you have more moves in there than we do. Okay? Yep, that's it. And you can always just watch if you want, or you can do the gentle version if you want. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, right foot back. And when the right foot go back, the right foot comes forward with the lunge. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. I'm going to do with my knees bent, lower my chest. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Adjust your feet. Inhale, up, running into this. Exhale, swan dive. Monkey. Left foot back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Obviously an inhale, opening your chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. We've talked about all the different sneaky things about that, how to do that. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Okay, now we're going to do some things, and we'll meet back in downward dog. So you can do the original pose, go down to the lunge, and then go straight back to dog, or you can do the little piece with plank and chaturanga in between. It's all up to you. As your arms get stronger, you can't, if you go into poses, or if your arms are getting tired, then you're going to start losing the alignment and possibly strain your back or your shoulders. So it's better to, at some point, start doing the different version of this. Okay, inhale. Whoops, exhale. I want to inhale to warrior one. We're going to step the right foot back. Inhale, arms up, right foot back. Warrior one. Exhale down to the lunge, adjust your feet. That right foot goes back further. And we'll meet you back in downward dog, however you want to get there. Right, look, right foot is going to lunge forward, however you want to get there. Forward bend. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Warrior one with the left foot back. Inhale, arms up, step your left foot back. Right knee bends. Your hips are lined. You're not stepping this foot back here. Stepping it straight back, straight line. Toes are still pointing this way as much as you can with your heel down. And we know we can always lift our heel and bend our knee. If we can't square our hips, and this is challenging for the back. So take another inhale after all my talking. Exhale, swan dive. Adjust your feet so this knee stays over the heel. Plank or whatever, meet you back in downward dog. Left foot will lunge. Step to forward bend. Bend the knees. Back to boat. Yeah, no triangle, no warrior twos. Sad, isn't it? I think. Shoulders down, Pam. I'm telling myself. They were like, yeek. You can always do this with bent knees. You can always hold your legs, especially if you're getting tired. Bring your knees in your knees out. Don't let your heels touch the ground. I'm going to have to change. Do balancing bear. Hold your big toes. Shoulders. Shoulders don't do anything. Arms do. Fingers do. Your toes are also grabbing your fingers. It helps to prevent you from rolling backwards, hopefully. Bottoms of your feet together, heels in close, slowly down. Go right on over to a forward bend in bound angle. Hold it. Slowly come back up. Slide your feet out a little bit. Still together. You're making a diamond shape. Reach from the inside underneath your legs with your hands. And just walk them as far forward as is comfortable for your stretch and hold it. Now keep your hands there, but lift up a little bit. You can slide your hands back a little bit if you need to. Bring your heels back close again. Find your balance and come up to, I don't know. I think once upon a time I saw it called lotus, so that's what I've been sticking with. Who knows? Palms out like lotus leaves or something. Hold it. Now bring both. Keep your feet lifted. Bring your hands to palms together. You can lift your chest or you can round your back. Whatever feels right, especially for your low back. Put your hands down beside or a little bit behind you. Bring both feet to the right. Adjust. If you can't sit straight with your legs stacked, you have to hold yourself up. Then move that bottom leg out this way. It gives you a better base and it's easier to sit up. Or alternatively, something, you can put your blanket under your left hip. Keep your legs stacked and that'll keep you straight, right? So try to stay straight. Otherwise, you're going to be straining and struggling and pulling and curved and everything. Although we are going to curve. So anyway, right hand beside your feet. And curve to the right. If this is hard on the shoulder, just touch your shoulder. Keep your elbow lifted. Try not to let the arm come forward. Try to go straight sideways. Hold it. Version of mermaid. The real version. Try not to let your chest collapse. Just don't overdo any of it. You don't want to strain your back. Release. Lean over to the left. Reach your right leg, top leg. Should be top leg forward. I don't want to do that way, do I? Never mind. Bring it back. Change sides. that would have not been good for the knees. All things apply. Blanket under the right hip, right foot out, right knee out, foot on your thigh. You can always modify this. If bending your knees is too much, you can always unbend them a little bit. Stretch to the left, hold it. Release. Now we're going to do what I had planned. Lean over to the right. Put your left foot in front of you. Straighten your right leg out underneath your left leg. Like this. Your left arm's going to be angled forward a little bit, or your right arm angled forward a little bit, because when you lift, you're going to shift. And your shoulder will be over your wrist. Flex that bottom leg, the right leg. You can have the left foot a little forward. You can bring it in closer. Try to have it in enough that you can use some pressure and push against it. I put both hands down when I lift my hips. And then I lift my left arm up. Notice I'm on the right edge of my right foot. My ankle does not touch the ground. If you can't do this and your ankle is touching the ground, then keep your knee down. That's really important. Ankle down, pulls on the knee. You can strain it just doing it once. And lower your hand, lower your knee, and we're going to change sides. So lean to the left, bend your right knee. It's kind of like if we were doing one of those twists, right? Straighten your left leg out, shift your hips around. Don't just do things. Get alignment, shift your hips. Your hand, again, is a little bit forward, because when you lift, your shoulder's going to be over your wrist. Lift up. On the outer edge of the left foot. The bottom of the left foot may even be slightly pointed toward the mat. Stay off your ankle. Lengthen your spine. Modified side plank. We did this last week. I think it was Thursday. Just a little bit longer. Both hands down. Lower your hips down. Come over onto your back with your strap. Yes, yes, yes. It is that time. Strap around the ball of the right foot. Stretch it straight up. Left knee can be bent. Or you can slowly straighten it, because that's going to pull in the front. You might not want it to go all the way straight. It might go all the way straight. The right knee is slightly bent. It's never locked straight. Maximize the stretch without lifting your shoulders. Relax. Just your arm muscles are working. And hold it. Feel it. Notice where you feel the stretch. Never any sharp stabbing pains, but discomfort. It may be uncomfortable. A good stretch is not quite comfortable. As you hold it, you may feel it becoming not a big stretch anymore. Comfortable, actually. When that happens, first off, check your alignment. Make sure your knee is straight but not locked. And if it still feels not much of a stretch, then pull it a little bit further. Hold it. These are 1-minute stretches, as you know. This is being recorded, so if you want a copy, I think how we go about getting that. Slowly, leg out to the right. Still around the ball of the foot, not the arch. So you stretch your calf a little better. Leg out to the right. And here's where the secret comes in. You don't lift your right hip to try to get it to the floor. This angle is the same as this angle, so it's no bigger stretch. See, the angle doesn't change. So keep it lifted if you need to. Keep your left buttock down, or you can lower it down toward the other leg and just slide it up the floor. It won't go as far, but it feels very different. This is a very different feel to this stretch. Keep this left buttock down. Hold it. Okay, I'm timing now. Although Sun Salutations does have built-in stretching, there's still a lot of strengthening in there, so we still need to do some stretching. I hope we can get to stretching the quadriceps. Let's see. If not, I'll do that in a gentle class after core today. Slowly leg up and across. Shift your hips. So bend your knee. Shift your hips to the right a little bit. Lower your leg left and shift some more. Try to have this straight up and down. Rotate your ribs to the right. You don't stay up here and be pulling on this shoulder with your arm trying to get it down. That's going to hurt your shoulder. You don't want to feel any pull on the front of that right shoulder. Try to rotate your whole torso. Otherwise, put your arm on a block at the elbow, a little bit above and below. Or you can have your elbow bent. Do the one that's right for you. Hold the pose. Don't rest your shoulder just to do a twist, just because you're stretching the outer thigh and the right leg. You don't want to wreck your right shoulder. So modify. Be careful. Feel the stretch. Don't hurt your shoulders. In this case, right shoulder. Don't forget, you want to have that SI joint area straight up and down at the back. Both SI joints. Okay, bring the legs slowly back up. Lower it down. Start with knees bent. Put the strap around the ball of the left foot. Stretch it straight up. Shift your back to flat again. And if you want, you can slowly straighten out the right leg onto the mat, sliding it straight, or you can keep it bent, whatever feels right. Gives you a good stretch. It doesn't challenge and hurt your back. It doesn't pull too much with sharp stabbing pains, especially the connective tissue around the joints. Hold it. Feel it. Shoulders relaxed. We all tend to, when we're using our arms, bring our shoulders up. Try to not let that happen. Learn how to separate using your arm muscles with using your shoulders. That's why our neck feels so tired sometimes. Tight, because it is. Because this is all connected. Slowly release the pull a little bit. If you need to, take your leg out to the left. Right buttock stays completely down, just as if you were laying straight on your back. As you take that leg out to the left, you can keep it lifted, or you can take it down by the other leg and slowly slide it up a little bit. Everybody's flexibility is different with this. Do what challenges you. There are sharp pains around the hips. Don't lift that right buttock up, giving into the hip being tight. Uh-oh. I think this is it. We have to stretch the other side, though. Right? So bring it up, take it across the body, shift your hips to the left. Core people will be with you in just a moment. Hold it. Of course, it depends on your clock. If I look at that clock, we have time. So we'll be stretching quadriceps and hips a little bit more in the gentle class after core, which after core it's needed anyway. Okay, slowly bring that leg back up. Release it. And let's do some core. I don't know. I feel like doing those leg lift things. Sequence. We're going to do 5. You can do 3 if you need to. You can do 1 if you need to. And rest in between. Remember, if you have back issues, low back particularly, and if your or if your abs aren't strong, this is your starting and ending position. Knees bend, feet on the mat. You don't try to make them straight. You don't slide them. You keep them. This is the starting, scoop, and this is the ending. Okay? Otherwise, arms overhead. And again, arms overhead don't have to be overhead. They can be elbows bent a little bit. Shoulders. Arms overhead. Keep your head down. Bring your knees to your chest, whether from bent knees or from legs straight. Hold them in. Lift your legs up to the ceiling. Take your arms back overhead. Lower your legs to the mat or your feet to the mat, depending which one you're doing. You're aware of your body and your needs. Right knee, knees up again. Legs up. Legs down. 3. Your head down. Legs up. Legs down. However you're doing it, I'm going to do it this way this time. 4. Knees to chest. Legs up. Down. Your starting position. 5. Tighten your abs. Use them. Push your back down. Don't let your back arch up to bring your legs up. Keep your back at the mat. Up and down. Back down. Push your back down. Now we're going to lift our head to our knees. Everything else is the same. Back down. Head up. Arms up. Knees up. Hug. Lower back down. Arms overhead. Legs up. Legs down. 2. Head to knees. Hug. Legs up, head down, arms overhead or out to the side. Legs down. Here, that's how you're starting. 3. Legs up. Legs down. Keep your back pushed down. 4. That's why this can strain your back if you let it arch up. If you can't keep it pushed down, then do it with knees bent. You'll gradually get stronger, trust me, even with knees bent. 5. This is still working the abs. You can bend the knees just a little bit. Have them here instead of up closer. Now we're going to reach past our legs and not hug them. Head still lifts. Everything else is the same. Starting position is still the same. Knees to chest. Lift your head. Reach past your legs. Press forward. Lower your head. Arms back to starting. Legs up. Legs back to starting. 2. Legs up. Legs down. 3. Legs up. Legs down. 4. Up. Down. 5. Up. Down. We're going to separate our knees, keeping our feet together, and reach between our knees and touch our feet, lifting our head. Everything else is the same. Starting in any positions, whatever you're doing. Knees to chest, lift up, touch your feet. Legs up and down, legs down. 2. Up, down. 3. Legs up. 4. Five. You know what? We're not going to do the rest of this sequence. This is boring. Among other things. That's my excuse anyway. Arms out to the side, legs straight on the mat. Arms out, palms down, so you can use them a little bit to push if you need to. Right leg, don't swing it. Right leg slowly up. And we're going to do it the way you should do it if your hamstrings are tight. First time we're going to do it that way. Bend your knee, take the knee across, so your thigh is straight out from your torso, not down here somewhere. And let the right shoulder lift if it wants to. Bring it back up, lower it down. Left leg slowly up, across, touch the floor. See how my shoulder lifts? I'm not trying to force it down. Slowly back up, but you do want to try to take the leg all the way across. That's more important. That's stretching and working your back. Straightening your back. Right leg up. If your hamstrings aren't tight, take it straight across so that the thigh is perpendicular to the torso, either with the knee bent, a little bit bent, a lot bent, or straight. Slowly back up. Lower down. Left leg up. Across. Back up. Lower down. Try to move a little bit slower than I just did. Move slowly. This is time. The slower you move, the less you end up doing. The faster you move, the less you get out of it. This is not aerobics. This is strengthening. This is core. Right now, strengthening the front, abs, a little bit in the back as you lift the leg back up. But try to tighten your abs as you lift the leg up after it's crossed. Try to learn how to activate the abs to help the back rather than the back helping the abs all the time. This is a good one because it does work both. The abs and the back, especially the side. Back muscles we don't normally use. Diagonal muscles, waist muscles. Keep going, rest if you need to, but try to keep going. Rest just for a breath or two. Consider it a rest, not a stop. And then try to do a few more. Only 10 more seconds. Now finish with the left leg, wherever you are. Once you finish the left leg, come back and bring both knees up towards your chest. Hug both knees. Using some arm muscle, pull them in, stretch your back, and rock a little bit. Massage your back. We want to strengthen the back. We do not want to tighten it. There's a difference between toning and tightening. Now we're going to come up from down. Legs are going to be straight. I would separate your legs, maybe the width of the mat, skinny width, almost the width of the mat anyway. And I'm going to show you something after we get up there. So don't just go up and go back down. I'm going to show you a way that it won't hurt you to strain your back as much. Slowly come up near that first couple times. It's hard. Don't reach to your toes. Keep your arms parallel to the floor and let your head go down between your arms as you reach your belly to between your legs. Now, if you tend to have back pain, as you go back, start to bend your knees. You can bend them unevenly and round back and arms overhead. That feels a lot better, but it's hard to come up with your knees bent. So coming up, you're going to want to straighten your legs. It's hard to come up anyway. And again, don't reach towards your toes. Reach your belly toward kind of between your thighs. And then slowly come back. And if you need to, you bend your knees so you can round your back down. Slowly up. Reaching between or above your toes. Slowly back down, whatever way works for you to round your way down. So your back isn't arched when you go down. Control both directions, keep moving. Rest when you need to. When you rest, you can hug your knees in, stretch your back a little bit. Consider it a rest. Try to do even just one more and then rest again. And then maybe one more. To gradually increase your strength and your endurance for this movement. Why does core always seem to go so slowly? Must be because it's so challenging. Finish this one last movement. So when you come back onto the mat, hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Stretch your back, massage your back, gentle rocks. This is not for strength. This is just for stretching. Gentle massage in the low back, SI joint area. Man, lower back down, feet on the mat. Lift your legs up to the ceiling, hands by your side. And even if you're just doing it isometrically, if you can't get your low back off the mat, that's okay. Just attempting to do it. Isometrics is a strengthening technique. You can have whole classes in isometrics, and you can really get strong that way. So don't think just because you can't lift your low back up and lift your feet to the ceiling in this that you're not getting benefit. Even if you're trying, even if the lift is really small, you're strengthening those low abs. Don't lift up to your shoulders. This is not a shoulder stand. Just get your low back, that's all. Just your low back and your glutes off the mat. This is kind of like reverse crunches, isolating the lower abs. Or keep your legs together. If they need to be apart, that's okay. Okay, legs still up. Lower your right leg down toward the mat. Don't touch the mat. If you feel too much strain in the back doing that, put your hands underneath your buttocks, not your low back. Put your buttocks, your hips. Don't touch the mat. Just down about parallel. Bring the knee into the chest. And use your ab muscles. Pull it in. Don't just bring it up. Pull it in. And then lift your leg up beside the other leg. When the legs are together, then lower the left leg down. Slowly, bring it slowly in. Bring it in as far as you can. And then lift it up, both legs together, then right leg. Slowly down. Keep your low abs active. Pull them in. Don't touch the mat. In the end, this is sort of like bicycle-ish. Right leg up beside the other leg, and then move the other leg. Don't start moving it until that right leg is up beside it. Down parallel, knee in, and up, and keep going. Low abs, still. Wherever you are, finish the left leg. And then hug both knees in and rock a little bit side to side. Your shoulders relaxed. Hugging those knees. Okay, one more for the upper abs. And we'll do a little bit more back stuff. It does include some abs, but it's back a lot. Knees bent, feet on the mat. Fingers behind your head, elbows out. And again, you could be laying on a towel all the way down, being held by your low back and your buttocks, or even further. But anyway, it's behind your shoulders and your head. So the towel comes up behind your head. You hold the size of the towel. And use that to help you lift and support the head so your neck doesn't get tired. If it's difficult to keep your fingers behind your head, depending on your shoulders. Right? 3-part crunches. Lift a little bit, lift a little bit more, lift as far as you can, staying down. Feel how the low back pushes down. And slowly keep the low back down there as you come back out of the pose. Lift. Elbows don't go forward. I mean, they don't go way forward. Lower slowly back down. 1, 2, 3. This is 4, 2, 3. Fingertips. Don't pull your head up. Don't use arm muscles to do crunches. Use your abs. 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3, 9, 2, 3, 10, 2, 3. And then our good one for obliques and waist. And then we'll come over onto our hands and knees, legs straight on the mat, right knee in toward the chest, left elbow to right knee, right arm basically stays down, touching the mat, at least a little bit. And left leg lifted a little bit off the mat, keep the legs lifted as you change sides. 2, and 2. Keep your head lifted. 3, and 3, 4, and 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Okay, my abs are tired. 9, 9, and 10. 10. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. See? I do know what it's like. Yeah, I know, especially when I'm doing it with you, right? Okay, come over onto your hands and knees. Knees under hips, knees separated, wrists under shoulders. We're going to do one. We're going to do a few here. For the back, remember, try not to lift the heel higher than the buttocks. You don't want to arch it way up, even if you can, even if it looks good, because we want to work the whole back. We want to reach the mid-back, not just isolating the low back. So right leg straight back, toes touch, and lift it up to parallel, and lower it back down. Right elbow stays straight, 2, and back, 3, and back, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, put it in the glutes, low back and mid back. 9, low mid back. 10, lower down. Right leg back. Lift. Elbow straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heel up higher than the buttocks. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to bring the right knee to the left elbow, straighten it back. Yes. And then keep it lifted as you bend. So when you bend, you try to keep the leg lifted and bring it in. You don't drop it down and bend it, right? Try to keep it lifted. That just gives you a different kind of stretch and strength. So we're going to alternate sides. So your right leg goes back and your left arm goes straight forward. Then you bring your left elbow to your right knee. Straighten them back out. You bend the right knee. You straighten it back out. And you lower down. It's a little different from what we normally do. Left leg out, right arm. Elbow to knee. Out. Keep it lifted as you bend it. Straighten it back out. And lower down. We'll do it together one more time. Right leg, left arm. elbow to knee, straighten it out, bend it, straighten it out, and lower down. Usually we reach back and try to touch the foot. We're not doing that this time because that tends to bring the knee down. Left leg, right arm, elbow to knee, straighten it out, bend it without trying to tap it, straighten it out, and lower down. Okay, on your own. If you forget some, or if you forget one time or whatever, that's okay. Just keep moving. If nothing else, do the elbow to knee, then back down. That works your back and your abs. I know you're getting all confused. It's okay. It's not important. Just do what you remember. Move slowly. If you lose your balance, make your hands be further apart from each other. Lean a little bit if you need to. Move slowly. Are we having fun yet? Bet I get some emails after this. It's okay, I can take it. Maybe 10 more seconds. Finish with your right arm, I don't know, the second side, left arm, right knee, whatever. And then sit back in child's pose. Separate your knees. Sit back, stretch forward. Once you've done both sides an equal number of times, hold the stretch. Let yourself relax. And put your arms by your side if you want. Child's pose not extended. You can stack your arms. Let your forehead rest on your stacked arms. Stretch. And come over onto your belly. Come up onto your forearms. Remember laying on a couple blankets underneath from the lowest rib down to below your knees. From your hips down to below your knees. Basically, yeah, your hips. Probably the length of the blanket better. You can stack 2 of them. That'll take some pressure off your low back. Otherwise, move your arms forward a little bit so your back isn't arched as much. If you feel too much in your low back, this is challenging. At least doing it so you get the most out of it. You can lift your arm, right arm straight forward, and lift your arm up a little bit to work the upper and the mid back. You're going to keep both hips down. You're not going to lean over to lift up, right? No. You stay down, belly stays down. You reach it forward, and then try to lift it up a little bit. Back down, left arm. Forward, up a little bit. Back down. It's not a very high lift. And up. We're not used to doing things less. Keep going. We're used to finding ways to do things more, bigger, better, stronger. This is for this pose, you lose the whole meaning of the pose if you tilt over just to lift up real high. Make a small lift. Just as you reach forward, it's already challenging. Just lift an inch or 2 high and then lower back down. And if just reaching forward is challenging, that's it. Don't lift it high. Bring it back down and just reach forward and back down. It's actually yoga therapy. Move from yoga therapy. The yoga therapy, as far as I'm concerned, the one that is only therapy. It's not, you don't do anything else. You don't do, and it has some therapy stuff in it. It is only yoga therapy. any of it. Okay, lower down. On the second side, which I believe is your, I don't know. Sit back on your heels. Stretch your back. Arms by your side, whatever. Stretch your back. Oh, look, that's sad. And we're done with core. Yes, we are. Now we have gentle. We have the best gentle class ever. Tuesday is the gentlest of gentles because it's such a good routine. And then we'll add some things like we need to do a quadricep stretch, and, recline pigeon, that kind of stuff. Start lying on your back, arms by your side, palms turned up, fingers toward you, thumbs away, opening your shoulders, opening your heart, legs straight. Kind of walk your heels down a little bit, walk your shoulders down a little bit, tuck your chin, stretch the back of your neck, don't overdo it. Just a little tuck. Breathe. Let your belly expand. Imagine that you're breathing in healing energy. You're exhaling out any toxins, any tension. You can bring in that healing with the breath and exhale it through your whole body. Just nice, deep, expansive breath. Close your eyes, focus on the breath. Keep breathing for just a little bit. I'm going to freeze for a second. And with your next inhale, raise your arms to the floor above your head or out to the side, depending on your shoulders. You can always have a blanket above your head for your arms to rest on. Breathe. Feel how the breath changes. Pulling these muscles along the ribs tight with your arms lifted might make their breath go more through the diaphragm, belly expanding as the diaphragm contracts. Diaphragm contracting to pull the bottom of the lungs down, expand and pull in air. There are some great videos on the internet now showing how the diaphragm works. It's big, it's skinny, it's big. We don't use it, so it gets lazy. Now, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, bring your right knee up, bring your arms up, exhaling the whole way, still exhaling as you pull the knee in towards your chest and belly, and then inhale as you lower the leg, raise your arms back overhead. And exhale the other knee up. Breathing through your nose, I'm just making the breath a little louder so you can hear it. Keep moving. Exhaling as the knee comes up and compresses the front of the body, the belly. Inhaling as you open up around the belly. The leg goes down, the arms go overhead. Now next time that you're holding the right knee, don't stop in the middle. Finish the left. Next time you're holding the right knee, keep holding it. It's a great stretch for the back. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Release the tension in your shoulders. Just use your arm muscles. Pull that right knee in. Hold the stretch. We know this little routine that we're doing here is a great routine to do first thing in the morning when you're tight from lying in bed, or last thing at night when you're tight from everything you've done all day. This is a good before bed. This calms the central nervous system. This relaxes you. Now cup your hand over the top of the right knee. It's your right hand. And rotate it in a circle, not so big that your buttock lifts. Either one. You take it across. Don't let the right buttock lift. You take it to the outside. Don't let the left buttock lift. Your range of motion is going to be based on your hips and the tightness in your hips, your hamstrings. You don't want to do it as much as I do or as little as I do. You go to your own edge. Keep moving. Keep moving in the same direction. We'll change directions in a minute. Well, 40 seconds. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Move more slowly. If your arm gets tired, try to stay with it. Move. Make the circle smaller. Don't just stop. See if you can just modify if your arm gets tired. Or your leg. Try to keep the leg relaxed. Your arm's doing all the work, so this foot's going to get tired. Go the other way around. Again, both buttocks stays down, back stays flat. Stay on the mat. Bring the knee back in. Bend your left knee so you can shift your hips to the right. And then take the right knee over to the left. Shift again if you need to. Again, try to make those SI joints, that low back, straight, up and down, perpendicular to the mat. Your right foot rests on your left leg, so bend your left knee a little bit, or it rests on the floor, but it doesn't hang out there in space. You let your right foot rest on something to not strain your knee. And then you can rotate your ribs a little bit to the right. Let your elbow rest on the floor. You can have a blanket behind you to support your arm. You do not pull on your shoulder with your arm to try to get the shoulder toward the mat. And then relax your back. Relax the buttock muscles. Relax the open stretch. I put a little pressure with my left hand, pushing my right leg down to get more of a stretch. is not about the right shoulder touching the mat. This is about stretching the back, the hip. Stop trying to stay relaxed. Just your left arm muscle may be working a little bit. And roll back over. Keep your right knee bent. Shift so your back is flat. Right foot on the mat. Let the right knee go out to the right. Not pushing it down, lifting your left hip. Just let it go out to the right. Let your right foot touch your left inner thigh or inner knee. Hold the stretch again. Left buttock is down. Let gravity do the stretching for the leg. Yes, this is different. This knee can be lifted. It doesn't have to be all the way to the ground. It's not the same as having the bottom half of the leg lifted. Bottom half of the leg is supported. It's on the ground. Hold it. So it can be like this with your right leg. Maybe it's here. Wherever. You're not forcing anything. Just let gravity do it. Now a slight change. Bring your right knee up. Foot on the mat. Bend your left knee. While we're still working on the right side, cross the right ankle on the left thigh. Lift the left leg up. You can hold behind the hamstrings. You can hold over the shin. You can use a strap and hold. If it's hard for you to lay back down, you don't want to stay lifted because it's going to be hard on your neck. If this hurts your knee, your right knee, if you feel any achy in the right knee, flex your foot. And that tightens the muscles supporting it into the knee. If that doesn't take the ache out, then slide it down, cross knee to knee, and wrap your arms around the outside or the strap. And that will still stretch your right hip, but not to the point where you're going to hurt it. Hold it. Don't let your knee tilt to the right. Try to stay flat. Try to have this left leg straight up and down. Again, keep the foot flexed if you need to protect the knee. If you know that knee is challenged, keep it flexed even if you don't feel any achiness in it right now. Don't challenge it further. Recline, pigeon supta, Ekapada Raja Kapasana. Right? Recline, king pigeon. I guess is what it is. And release. Legs straight on the mat. Hug your left knee into the chest. Everything on the left side. Relax your shoulders. Relax your legs. Hold the stretch. I will probably do this side, most of it with you, because my left hip is the one that needs it more than the right hip. And if one side is tighter than the other, then it's going to affect the back, and it's going to affect the knees, and it's going to affect a lot of things. And my left hip is coming back, getting there, equal to the right. But it's taken time. something happens and you give things a rest for a while, sometimes you have to be patient when you start doing things again. Never assume you can stretch even day by day. Always going to stretch slowly so you know how far you can move. Up your left hand over the top. Rotate from the hip. Your leg stays relaxed. Your left heel stays down. Even when you take it across, you don't lift up. Just take it across a little bit. This is for the hip primarily. Can't hear my stomach growling. My stomach's growling. That's what that noise is. It's not the cat. The cat's outside. That cat is, anyway. Go the other way around, please. And generally, we pick the direction that is easiest for us. And we do it without even thinking. The body does it automatically. The body always tries to make things easy for us, which is why we tend to use the same muscles all the time. It's just that, for me, in this direction is a little bit more challenging. I feel it in different places. Bring the knee back in. Shift your hips to the left a little bit so that you're leaning already to the right. Take your knee across to the right. Shift your hips a little bit more. Left foot is resting on the right leg. Rotate your ribs to the left if you want. Or have a blanket. Put your elbow on the floor. You know all the things to do. Just don't pull with your arm to try to get your left shoulder down. It's not how it works, or should not be how it works. Come on, watch. Relax your back. I caught myself right there, arching a little bit because I'm expecting pain. So I allowed it to relax, to allow the stretch to happen. And that, again, that arching muscle tightening, that's an automatic thing. Protecting an area that may have discomfort, the muscles tighten up. That's why you never want to work the pain. All you're doing is tightening up. Roll back over. Shift your back to flat. Let your left knee go out to the left. Without forcing anything. Just gravity, let it do it. And relax. You may find sometime in this minute that whatever tension is being held in the body because it's not sure what's happening here and it may hold some tension, it will start to release. Once it knows everything's safe, your leg may get down a little bit further without you doing anything. Relax. Now bring the knee up, bend the other knee as well. Cross your left ankle. On your right side, lift your left leg up again. All things apply, just as we talked about on the other side. Hold it. And release. Both knees bent, feet on the mat. Let your knees go apart from each other, bottoms of your feet together. Heels in close. Believe it or not, moving your feet out and bending the knees less is just really more challenging for the knees. You can bend them more or put supports underneath your knees. Put a block both sides or a side that needs it so you can relax and not have to worry about it. Blankets, pillows. Knees up. Roll to your side facing the camera. More or less comfortably. Bottom knee can be bent a little bit or straight. Grab the top heel, top foot, around the ankle or the top of the foot. Move the knee away. Don't bring it up here. Move it away carefully, slowly, kind of like a king dancer pose in a way, but you keep the heel tight against the buttock. You don't lift the heel up. You don't lift the knee up. You keep the whole leg, top of the leg, bottom of the leg, parallel to the mat, more or less. Pull it in, stretch your quadriceps. The front of the hip flexors, all those leg lifts we do in core. We don't want to tighten up the hip flexors. Oh, that's for sure. More than you know, you don't want to tighten those up. And lift your shoulder up. Keep it relaxed, even if you have to move it down. And release. Come to seated. And lie down on the other side of the mat so you can still face the camera. Pull the top heel in, knee away, stretch, hold it. And release. And come to seated. Left leg crossed in front. Seated cross-legged, sitting on a blanket or two for hips, backs, or knees. If you have an issue in any of those, sit on a blanket or two, or put a blanket over a couple blocks. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, reach forward and down and stretch. And hold the stretch. This is a good place to also use a block. Rest your forehead on a block, whether it's high or low. That way you can relax more if you can't go down real far. With your next inhale, allow your inhale to lift you up. Follow your exhale into a twist to the left. If your torso is long and your arms are short, you should have a block behind you or a blanket so you don't lean back. You want to stay nice and straight. Keep the right buttock down as much as the left buttock is down. Don't lift up. Those toe stretches we did in yin on Saturday. Look hard. They're good for us. My toes are happier now. Lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Come back to center, right leg in front. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. Hold the stretch.